Please turn your sound on to hear full explanations of our answers. Thank you. The question is, how to lose weight gained after quitting smoking? And my answer to you is that you need to stop using food as a crutch, okay? Because when you were smoking, cigarettes became your crutch. If you were stressed, you'd smoke a cigarette. If you felt irritable, you smoked a cigarette, and those problems would go away. You know, you had a cigarette for every time you needed them. The cigarettes were always there. And then when you lost those cigarettes, you also lost your crutch. And the new one that you took up, like so many ex-smokers do, was food. You know, if you needed to guarantee yourself some moments of pleasure, food was always there, and that's what you used it as. So you really need to recognize your cigarette habit, your old cigarette habit, and your new food habit, so to speak, or food abuse. You need to recognize that they're one and the same thing, that they're a crutch that you've been using. It's a kind of escapism. It's like when you have a problem, just have a cigarette, or just eat some food and make yourself feel better. In a way, it's a kind of like you're failing to confront your problem and like just accept it and realize that there's not necessarily an easy way out when you have a problem. That you can't just use something else, because it always ends up being abuse rather than use, and it ruins your health, as you now know. It did before on the cigarettes, and it's doing the same thing now with your food, because being overweight, as you know, obviously is unhealthy. So recognize it as your crutch, and to start getting back to your normal weight again, slowly but surely start to eat healthy again. So don't drink sodas, only drink water. Don't drink alcohol every night, drink water instead. Water will be tasteless at first, but it will taste better later on. Only eat when you're hungry. When you feel satisfied, which takes only about 200 calories, 250, roughly about half of a meal, stop and think, okay? And if you're not hungry anymore, don't eat. No one's forcing you to eat. And if you're not hungry and you're still continuing to eat for pleasure, then that's abuse. Your body doesn't need the fuel. You're basically stuffing it down your neck and putting on fat with every single mouthful. And you're only doing it just because it titillates your taste buds. And if you start feeling full, like even more than satisfied, if you feel full, so you have discomfort in your stomach, you need to stop immediately, because that's your body crying out and saying to you, stop feeding me, stop it now, please. That's what your body is doing. So do those things slowly but surely. You can start to lose the weight while recognizing that you are using food as a crutch. And you know what, you have more inner strength than that. You don't need a crutch. You've been using a crutch, but you're not giving yourself enough credit. You've got a lot more strength, internal strength anyway, that you can deal with what life throws at you. And you don't need to have this little treat for yourself every day, which is nice tasting food. You don't need that. You don't need to abuse food, cigarettes, or anything else. Because I know that you're strong enough and you're capable. I believe in you. Just like I believe in anybody. Everybody has it within them, including you. If you want a little bit of extra help, I want to show you a site I'll put in the description box down below. If you click on the link down there, it'll take you to the site that has helped thousands of people in a very similar situation to you, many of whom have given up cigarettes and turned to food instead, and it's helped them to lose the weight properly. And the reason they do it properly, i.e. permanently, without putting it back on, without switching to some other drug or whatever some other new vice, the reason that it works is because it helps you lose weight but without having any cravings. So you won't need your crutch. You won't feel like you need your crutch. You won't feel deprived in any way. And that's why this method is so successful. And you can see the proof. You can see some before and after pictures and some stories and tips from people who've already done this before you. So I know that you can succeed too. I totally believe in you, that you can do this, okay? So please have a look at the site, click the link below, check it out, and I'll see you soon in another video. Take care.